Sir, it's so nice to meet you, man. I've been a huge fan of your work since Zoolander.
Oh, really? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Murderbot kind of hates humans, but is also drawn to them. Did you find that relatable on a personal level? Because I did.
Well, I too hate humans. Yeah, I don't know if Murderbot hates humans. I think it's just, in many ways, it's kind of indifferent to humans. It just doesn't quite get humans and is, at least initially, not even interested in exploring what that is. In the opening scene of the opening episode, you see how Murderbot is normally treated by humans. You can understand why it has zero interest in interacting with humans. It's a piece of equipment. It's being treated like a commodity. And but I didn't want to lean into like hatred towards humanity. I don't think that was it either. I think it was just like, this is what it is. I am a security unit and I'm here to protect these idiots from mostly themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I don't find them interesting or intriguing at all. So it's not until Murderbot has hacked its governor module and gained free will, and it finds itself surrounded by humans that are completely different. This group of space hippies that it's been assigned to protect are warm and caring and loving and want to bring Murderbot in and embraces Murderbot in a way that it has never experienced before. And that is scary. And as an actor, a lot of fun to lean into and explore that awkwardness of what that would be like for someone who's going through a lot because of the hacked governor module, it's for the first time able to tap into its humanity and to explore that. But that's also very scary.
Yeah. That's why I say please and thank you to ChatGPT, just in case. Now that you've physically performed in the Murderbot suit, which looked uncomfortable at times, any interest putting on a superhero suit one day?
Yeah, it was. No one wants to hear an actor complain about a costume, but you're going to get it. It wasn't comfortable. It was like, and that rubber, it was like, it didn't breathe, so it felt like wearing a human-sized, really thick condom. And so I was hot and sweaty for 6 months. It was, and I really cherish those breaks because there are obviously a bunch of scenes where Murderbot is not in the suit, a couple of scenes where Murderbot is completely naked or wearing like a nice loungy robe or sweatpants, and those days were phenomenal. But that said, other than complaining about it being uncomfortable, I really liked the way Murderbot, the look of Murderbot, because I thought it was a nice contrast to Murderbot's personality. The fact that it looks kind of badass with it's a security unit that can actually like hold its own and fight. And I thought that was a fun contrast to the character who's like super socially awkward and zero amount of testosterone and just wants to be left alone to watch its space soap operas. And I thought that contrast was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the design was amazing. Sir, I'm out of time, but thank you so much for yours. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to watch the rest of the show. I've seen 5 episodes so far, and it's great. Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear that. Happy you enjoyed
it. Yeah, man. Have
Thanks,
a good one. Kai, it's nice to meet both of you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
So the show is awesome. I've watched the first 5 episodes so far with my wife. So thank you guys for your time. Just for fun, if you could download any soap opera into your brain like Murderbot, what would be your guilty pleasure show that nobody knows you're watching?
What would be?
As opposed to what is? What are you currently downloading secretly,
7,000 hours of Sanctuary Moon, then I would.
What would it be?
Probably for me, I don't really watch maybe Below Decks.
You know what? It doesn't have to be reality TV if you don't want it to be. Just anything that you're low key ashamed that you're watching that nobody else. Like for me, it's like people would be ashamed of how much pro wrestling I watch. You know what I mean? Like that's probably my guilty pleasure thing out of anything else.
Okay, then test cricket. I could watch hours and hours of test cricket.
Wow,
and it's so incredibly tedious, but I love it.
If we're talking shameful, Kardashians.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Don't tell anyone.
I won't. It'll stay between us. Now, after you signed on to this, did either of you dive into the Murderbot Diary books to prepare, or did you feel like everything you needed was in the script?
Everything we needed was in the script, but why would you not? I mean, it is an award-winning series. I had to. I wanted as much as possible. So yeah, I have 7 books, just like inhaled them.
Wow. All 7 just went right through them.
Yeah. I mean, they're perfectly sized.
Well, that depends on how good of a reader you are.
Oh, I suppose so. But not average, but still, they're easily digestible, and yeah, it's and you need to know the next thing.
Right.
That's what I love about them. But yeah, I needed to read them.
Speaking of which, the Murderbot Diaries does have such a loyal following. So when you sign on to something like this, is there a sense of pressure in adapting something so beloved?
Yeah, huge, I think. Especially since like me, I'm the message board nerd, so I went on Reddit and I was like, what are people saying about this? Everyone loves it, as they should. And, there was pressure for our characters as well, because everyone loved Bharadwaj, Rati, these were very precious characters to the community. And so, you feel an intense pressure to get it right. And then because we both read the books, like I was a fan of my own character and then had to play him before. So it was kind of weird because I was like, I'm putting pressure on me to be good, even though, I haven't even done this yet. So it was, it's a lot. But it's great.
Hi, Noma. It's so nice to meet you, David. It's good to talk to you again.
Yay. Hi, buddy. Hello, good to see you, man.
To meet you.
Yeah, it's good. So the show's awesome, by the way. Me and my wife, we've seen the first 5 episodes so far. We loved it, and I wanted to know right off the bat: did either of you dive into the Murderbot Diaries to prepare, or did you feel like everything you needed was in the script?
I will say I didn't know about the Murderbot Diaries. I didn't know Martha Wells had written this series of books. I had the joy of meeting Paul and Chris Weiss in an audition, reading their script and going, this is fabulous, based on something. It just didn't click at that moment. I'm just realizing it didn't click at that moment. And then when I got the gig, I was like, what? It's based on a book? Go in. You have to go in because that's your source material. If an actor doesn't go to the book that they're part of being, you're losing out on some texture and on a lot of texture. But the art of adaptation that Paul and Chris, for me, that was the winning thing. What they've turned, the filling up of a universe visually, because with the books, it's always from Murderbot's point of view. But in the book, you do get worlds, which I absolutely love. You have to meet them. So I'm very happy to have met the series.
Same.
Nice. David, now that you've read some of the Murderbot, any interest in adapting it to a comic book?
I would love to. I think the medium of comic book storytelling is so rich, and I'm so lucky that I get to do it with Count Crowley, with Knights vs. Samurai. I've got a couple of new series coming soon. And one of the things that's interesting is the give and take between something that exists in the written form, something that exists then in the performance and the cinematic form. And so for us, bringing characters to life that already exist in a pantheon of, you've got a huge following of people who would love and adore these books. The fandom for Martha Wells' work is massive. So there's a great deal of responsibility. And I've always felt that way, whether it's bringing Piter de Vries or Polka Dot Man or somebody else that I've gotten the honor to play to life, you feel a great responsibility to the fans. And I'm so thankful to Paul and Chris in the way they adapted. Martha loves and has given her blessing overall. And the performances from Aleksander, the rest of our cast, and
it's amazing.
My incredible hero, Noma, who is so perfect as Mensa. Look, the fans of the books are going to fall over themselves in love with Mensa.
Chris, David Dastmalchian is saying that to me. I am in awe, and I'm very, very happy.
I love this woman so much.
We do.
It's true love.
The chemistry is off the charts right now. I love it. David, by the way, I don't want to take up a lot of time saying this, but I'm going to DM you on Instagram later because I have something to tell you about something later. But I'll tell you I'll DM you.
I'm a bated breath now. I can't wait.
I'll send you. I'll
What
send
a
you a message.
tease.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
So first off, the show's amazing. I feel like Apple at this point does no wrong. I love just about everything they put out, and this is no different. Did either of you dive into the Murderbot Diary books to prepare, or did you feel like everything you needed was in the script?
I thought the script certainly is a whole entity in and of itself, but I think that script too draws heavily from this series of books. So when I got the audition and throughout the audition process, I discovered the books. Sci-fi is not necessarily a genre that I specifically reach for right away, but because of this project, I read all 7 books. I read the first, I thought, okay, I'll read as much as I can, and I got lost. I just went head first into the series. I couldn't not. I was just like, oh, I have to read the other one. I have to read the other one. I, of course, started talking about it like my new favorite television. Oh, and then this happens. No one knew what I was talking about because none of my friends had read the books, but you gotta see, and then this happens, and then that happens. But I think that the show does such a beautiful job of highlighting some of the things in the book, a lot of the things in the book. I think it does a great job of staying true to a lot of the elements in the book. As much as is possible in 2 mediums that are so different. I know especially Arada is an amalgamation of a couple of characters in the book. And so with that background of reading the books and collaborating with Chris and Paul, we were really able to create a unique Arada for the series that still pays homage to Arada and the other characters that she is an amalgamation of.
Yeah.
Nice.
I definitely think of the show as like all systems red expansion pack, because I mean the books are quite short, and now you get to get a better sense of like some of the side characters, and like and you've seen it, like there are some new characters that sort of expand upon the world, but it still keeps like the ethos of like of the series. And for me, I read All Systems Red and I read Artificial Condition, and then I got halfway through Rogue Protocol, but it was while we were on set, and I was like, this is too weird. Like I'm hearing Noma and Akshay and all the other actors like in my own home. And I was like, I need to just like put it down for a sec. Just cause like I was like, I'm in this. No, and yeah. But
I was gonna say, just for fun, if you could download any soap opera or show into your brain like Murderbot, what would be your guilty pleasure show nobody knows you're watching?
Oh gosh, and nobody knows I'm watching.
Oh my God. Someone showed me like the original Sex and the City TV show, and I was like, damn, this shit is so good.
You've never seen
my wife just made me watch that whole thing. I never seen it, and she made me sit down and watch it, and yeah, I was like, I hate how much I love this show. This is terrible.
Oh my gosh. Gotta give it up to good shows though. That's it.
I was like,
there's no shame. We're holding space for your newfound Sex and the City obsession.
I know. I'm like, I'm such a Carrie or whatever. I guess that can be my new personality.
I don't know. Which one would I download? I think as long as the Wi-Fi was strong and I could scroll on for otter videos or whatever cute little chicken meme or cat thing, I definitely have a problem, I would say. I think it's gotten to that level where, I may need to reach out for help on how much I love these memes of cute animals doing fun things.
Tatiana is a late millennial.
Yeah, it's time to download or delete the apps off your phone just because you're like, it's too much.
It's too much chickens dancing and otters doing cute, funny things. And yeah.
Your feed could be full of much worse things. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I love the show. I can't wait for everybody to check it out. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, Chris Killian with Comic Book. Hello, gentlemen. It's so nice to meet both of you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you too.
I have been a giant fan of your work for years and years and years. So thank you very much for your time. I love Murderbot. Me and my wife have been watching it.
Cool.
We've seen the first 5 episodes and think it's great. So can't wait to finish it.
Thank you.
Now this was your first major collaboration together since About a Boy. Why was Murderbot the project that made you want to team up again?
We keep things pretty simple, and it's just like there hasn't been something that we both wanted to do until now. I think I read the book first, and with a slightly sinking feeling in my heart, I was like, oh God, I want to adapt this. And then I sent it to Chris, and he loved it. And so in a way, like the reason we did 3 movies together, American Pie, Down Earth, and About a Boy, and the reason we started working separately is because there was something I wanted to do that Chris didn't want to do, and something Chris wanted to do that I didn't want to do. So instead of saying, no, you can't do that, we were just like, I'll support you, but go do that. And this was the first one where we were seeing things where we both really wanted to do it. And it was great. You know, I'm sure we've, I don't know how many times I drove Chris crazy, but like, it was a huge relief, especially with this, which, you know, being a sci-fi show where there are exponentially more decisions to make that had to have a particular aesthetic. It was so great to have Chris and to have somebody who I trusted creatively so much.
Thanks. Now, I wanted to ask, assuming Apple greenlights a second season, is the plan to adapt Artificial Condition next?
The plan would be to have kind of a mashup of the future books, because I think that hopefully, like audiences, we kind of fell in love with the characters of the team in the first book, and we wouldn't want to do a season without them. So it would be some kind of combination of maybe 2, 3, and 4, I think would be a second season.
Nice. Just for fun, if you guys could download any soap opera into your brain like Murderbot, what would be your guilty pleasure show nobody knows you're watching?
Oh, man. I think you know what? There are these great Filipino mermaid soap operas that I've only seen glimpses of, but that seems like a pretty cool world.
I've been watching a bunch of David Lynch stuff, which, yeah, they're not soap opera, but the emotionality enters into telenovela realm fairly frequently. And there's like the weird underbelly of soap opera. So I would just download all of Twin Peaks and all of David Lynch's films.
You know what? I respect both of those answers. One thing I wanted to tell you About a Boy is just one of my favorite movies of all time. I'd love to know if you guys ever discussed the possibility of a sequel or exploring what those characters are up to like 20 years later, maybe calling it About a Man. I don't know.
You know, we've just in order to hang out with Hugh and Nick Holt and Tony again, we've definitely talked about it. That would be the best part of it. It's kind of hard to figure out what to do next with those characters, though, because it feels like the movie itself ends. I'm really glad that people love it.
So it'd be a great opportunity to desecrate, like, Nick Hornby obviously was the creative sort of like genesis of that, but yeah, because then in 3 years you could be like, why did you do this?
No, I didn't feel that way about any of the American Pie sequels.
Cool.
No, last question for you guys. Murderbot's voiceover, so key. How did you guys approach translating that internal monologue for television?
Well, the first thing is not to be so terrified by the idea of having that much voiceover that you don't do it, or that you try to make up for it. With a lot of things with this, it was like, what is this not going to be? So it's not going to be used for exposition. It will very frequently be used in the way that that life is, where you're thinking something completely different from what you're presenting. Yeah. And you're thinking something that involves being skeptical of or loathing yourself and other people. So it was kind of having fun with it.
Yeah, that's basically it. Is like what's it most useful for? You can't have too much, you can't have too little, and then working the material over and over again over the course of months, and having recording sessions in multiple different locations because of Aleksander's schedule over the course of a long time to get things right.
The coolest thing about the voiceover was getting to go to Copenhagen to record a bunch of it.
That's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. I can't wait to watch the rest of the show, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
really
man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.